strong as the childhood memories of the days playing in the snow. Remember the hooded snowsuit that crinkled when you walked? The plaid, scratchy wool scarf that your mom wrapped around your mouth and nose multiple times and tied at the back of your head? Then you would put on your doeskin mittens and be ready to head to the hill with your flexible flyer. Happy days. Come along with us today as we celebrate winter with you in the Great Lakes Bay region. By the time you are a big kid at heart, you may have replaced your flexible flyer with a pair of snowshoes. The Chippewa Nature Center in Midland is the perfect place to gather with friends for a snowshoe walk on the trails guaranteed to rekindle your love of winter. Before you venture out, you'll want to visit the center for an overview of what you can observe while you're out in nature.
We're here in Midland today, and we are at the Chippewa Nature Center. We come out here for a little bit of fun in the snow today, and one of the things we're going to be doing is a little bit of snowshoeing. Michelle, maybe you can tell us exactly what goes on when people come out here and want to do a little bit of snowshoeing.
Yeah, so we offer guided hikes here at Chippewa Nature Center. We're Naturals Attends, and it is free for you to come out. You just have to let us know that you want to borrow snowshoes. And even if you have your own snowshoes, you're welcome to join us. But we have a variety of different snowshoes, most of them being traditional styles for people to try. And so we have a couple different, most people wear the Green Mountain Bear Paws. Very easy for beginner, but they're all basically, snowshoes are just big giant paddles on your feet to displace your weight because you don't want to sink in the snow. But we do have some of the other traditional styles like the Michigan or the Huron, and then the Ojibwa too. And then we also offer some kids snowshoes. We're gonna go along the river here. Actually, behind the camera is the Pine River.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of head that, and then we'll make a stop at our wigwam too before we head out on the trail.
So you have different things along the trail then that we're going to see, and places you can stop at.
Yep. And as you guys have questions and want to know about something, feel free to ask questions.
Well, we're on our way to start our snowshoe trek through the miles of beautiful countryside.
Chippewa Nature Center, we have 1,200 acres and over 19 miles of trails. The great thing with snowshoes though is that you don't have to stick to the trails. You can actually go off trails. Encourage that because you can't get poison ivy in the wintertime when it's underneath the snow. And so we do groom some trails for cross-country skiers. We ask that you track on those, but the rest of the area is free to snowshoe.
It wasn't long before we came to our first stop, a wigwam. Michelle explains.
So we have a wigwam here, which would be traditional Native American house back here in the woodland period over, before Europeans came. And so people can learn a little bit about how Native Americans interacted with nature, which is very fitting for our snowshoes and the fact that we really wouldn't be on snowshoes if it weren't for some of the early peoples who put these together. And in fact, the style that we're wearing, they would have had a similar style.
Okay. This is a nice spot to come out to too. When you come to a place like this, you're getting a little bit cold. You can go inside. You can warm up a little bit.
A winter snowshoe hike is a fun way to feel connected with the natural world, building a desire to preserve it as well as enjoy it.
One of the things that's nice, we're not too far from the Welcome Center here, and people who come out here would just like to come out for a short walk and take a look at the rivers and just kind of enjoy being in the outdoors. We've got some benches that are out here, which make it really nice. I noticed we also have a little bit of signage out here too. Kind of interprets the area you're in. Are we going to see these along the way?
Yep, so there's this one, some key features that are highlighted. When we get to the Arboretum, which is basically like a tree museum, each tree is labeled, and then there's some also interpretive displays about tree communities, so you can learn more about them as well.
With interpretive signs along the trail, you will become an expert on nature by the time you finish your journey.
Kind of making our way through this homestead area, and this is the shack you see out behind me here is where they make maple syrup at. We're going to walk by that over there. Along the way we came through some open fields. Got a little chilly out here. You get that wind blowing, gets a little bit colder, but we're getting out here, we're getting moving again, and when you're moving with snowshoes on, you do keep warm, so it works out pretty good. Let's head on over there and join everybody else.
The sugar house, basically the only thing how you make maple syrup is you cook sap, maple sap, so that the water leaves, and then it concentrates the sugars in the pan, making maple syrup. So this was actually a house. We added the cupola, which is the top structure, to vent the steam. But we do this as an educational program for school groups. All of our taps are pretty much put out by school groups coming to learn about the first agricultural product of the year, which is kind of an exciting thing. So we still do it the old-fashioned way with metal buckets and spiles, and so the kids get to, you know, drill with the old-fashioned drill. They get to tap the spile end. So it's kind of a fun one. And then this is open on the public to the public on the weekends. So whenever we're cooking syrup on the weekends, it's open for people to come in, get free smells of maple syrup, and then learn a little bit about the process. Our homestead farm here was put up in the 1970s, but some of the structures, the wood is from 1870s era. And so we talk a lot about, we have school groups and different programs that use this space to learn about historically how people have interacted with nature.
So that's not a real log cabin. I mean, that isn't an original log cabin.
The wood is actually. It was moved from Clare area, but the wood is all from 1870.
I was gonna say, it looked like it was.
It looks, yeah. That one is really old wood. The barn behind us right here is newer construction. We put that up a couple years ago because the older wood was deteriorating and falling.
Snowshoeing provides great health and fitness benefits. In fact, you can burn more calories snowshoeing than walking or running at the same pace.
You've probably seen some of the different shacks that they've got in the barn and so forth that's out here. We've got ourselves a nice little fire going on here. Come over, warm up a little bit, and just kind of get into it. We had the option of taking our snowshoes off or leaving them on. I chose to leave mine on because it's so much work getting them back on after I take them off. But we've got this set up real nice. Just move right on back, sit down. Got a nice warm fire, brought some lunch along too. So we're gonna sit here, talk a little bit and have something to eat.
We come out here in the summer and kayak from Chippewa down to the Tridge and walk around here. It's beautiful, but I've never snowshoed, and this is a real treat for anyone in the area, and it's at no charge.
If your goal is to have fun and be outdoors, snowshoeing could be for you. Make it your goal to take the trails at the Chippewa Nature Center, where your outdoor experience will exhilarate, educate, and provide an escape from your busy life. Remember all your summer fun on a vintage Swin when you would get on your bike right after breakfast and come home in time for dinner? And then the snow came, and up in storage it went. This is now when you can ride a fat tire bike in the snow and the sand. Fat tires are 4 to 5 inches thick, and depending on your bike, you can be suited up for a great ride in all sorts of weather. Described as like riding a bike and a horse at the same time, we visited Ray's Bike Shop in Midland to learn more about fat tire biking. A fat tire bike is made to glide over ice and snow. Once you pick out the right clothing, including a helmet, you get your tire pressure just right and you're ready to ride. Whether it is your first time or you are a pro, the fun of fat tire biking is often described as making you feel like you're 8 years old again. For the most part, riding fat tire bikes in the snow is not about speed, it's about control. Groomed trails are a great way to start out, and one of the most fun are the trails at the Midland City Forest Park, north of Midland on Highway 10 on Monroe Street.
We're out here for some winter fun in the Great Lakes Bay region, and I'll tell you what, we've got quite a day planned. Now our bikes today are being supplied by Ray's Bike Shop, and Brad, just about anybody can come up and rent a bike up here then and go out and try something like this.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great time. We've got a shop here in Midland that's been open for over 35 years, and we've expanded to 3 locations now. So we've got places to rent bikes in Bay City, in Clare on your way up north, and then here in Midland.
Okay, it's not just a winter thing either.
No, definitely. Yeah, we have summer bikes, comfort cruisers for the rail trail system, as well as road and mountain performance bikes for people to take out and enjoy while they're in town.
Just for a minute, tell me a little bit about these bikes and what makes them different and what's going to make it easy enough to go out there and ride.
Yeah. So your normal off-road bike has a tire that's about 2 inches wide. So these are going to have 4 to 5 inch wide tires to give you enough traction where you can really lean into corners and have control in this kind of snow. They're going to have nice hydraulic disc brakes, good shifting systems, so you can get up those big hills.
Okay, so you got gears in here. You're not having to fight
No, not everybody though. I think Corey might be riding a single speed today, just for the brunt fun of it. So, as if it's not hard enough. Right?
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a hard way to go. It isn't?
It's always the wrong speed.
Always.
Always, yeah.
Okay, so what do you say?
Yep,
Get on
sounds
these bikes
great.
and get going.
Yeah, let's go.
Heading out on one of Midland City's 13 miles of mountain biking trails with a group of friends and winter enthusiasts is a great way to tackle the winter blahs. The forest is open 7 days a week, year-round, and Fat Tire Biking is just one of the ways to enjoy winter here, along with toboggan runs, sledding, ice skating, snowshoeing, and cross-country skiing. Just like when we were kids, there's always a show-off in the group. Or perhaps that show-off was you. Riding a bike through the snow-carpeted forest, even when temperatures are freezing and below, will make a winter recreation devotee out of you. Come with your friends, even your furry ones, to capture the thrill of the ride. What makes the Midland City Forest Trails unique and a challenge for Fat Tire bikers are its hills, bridges, narrow paths, and tree branches brought down by the winter winds. The challenge is good for the soul and makes the day all the more fun. Fat Tire biker enthusiasts say it is natural to slide around a lot when you ride, and sometimes it's like driving a car in ruts on a highway. They also say it is best not to stare down at the ground. It will give you better balance to look ahead to where you are going. Another bit of advice is to stay seated. Of course, you can do all these things and still end up taking a powder. And if you do, it's usually an easy fall, resulting in much laughter and, as in every sport, the encouragement to get back up and into the seat and carry on.
I hope I got that on camera. Probably wasn't as bad as it looks.
As we crossed the trail bridges, we were reminded of how the flood washed them away in 2017, and how proud the community is of the Parks and Rec Department, who recycled city signs and used old tridge decking to rebuild and replace the destroyed bridges. These new bridges will last for years to come.
The clothing that you wear out fat biking is a lot different than what you would wear normally hiking or anything like that. It's a very thin jacket and that's very well ventilated. These bar mitts cover up the hands so that you can have a lightweight glove and still have control over the brakes and the shifters. And the boots are designed to be warmed down to negative degrees. And so these are the Shimano SPD clip-in style pedals. They allow you to attach directly to your bike with your shoes. Keeps your foot in the best place so that you're comfortable and you're mostly efficient while you go. This is what's called a bar mitt or a pogie. The pogies are a glove-like material that's insulated. It's going to fit down over top of the controls of the bike so that your hands stay warm. If you have a spot for a snack or anything that you don't want to freeze, put it right inside of there.
There are so many conditions you can ride your Fat Tire bike in. Sometimes the snow is powdery, other times icy. As they say in Michigan, just wait a minute and the weather will change. Come often to Midland City Forest for a fun-filled ride, or try any and all of the other trails in the Great Lakes Bay region. Pump up the tires and take nearly 100 miles of safe, accessible, groomed trails along our Great Lakes Bay Regional Trail System, made up of the Saginaw Valley Rail Trail, 11 miles of abandoned railroad corridor from St. Charles to Saginaw, crossing over wildlife-rich, ice-covered wetlands of the Shiawassee Game Area. The 30-mile Pierre Marquette Rail Trail, stretching from Midland's famous Tridge to the outskirts of Clare, and the Bay County River Walk and Rail Trail. 17.5 unforgettable miles of wintry waterfront views and frozen woodlands. If you're riding the trails on the weekend, Be sure to end your winter bike ride through the forest with a visit at the one-of-a-kind chalet where you can get a snack and a cup of hot chocolate from the concession stand. Have a seat at the log tables or gather around the warming fire that is the ideal backdrop for recreating all of your fun memories of the day. The kids will enjoy being outdoors when they can come in and warm up. Who doesn't remember how a cup of hot cocoa with floating marshmallows or a dollop of cream would warm you to the tips of your fingers and toes? It is also a cozy environment where you can watch the kids slide down the hill while you are warm and dry.
Kimberly, Amber, and I have come into the chalet. You know, we were out there on the mountain bikes, or the fat tire bikes, I guess they call them. And I tell you what, I don't know about you, I really enjoyed it. And I was really surprised at how easy I thought it was. I'm not saying it's easy, I'm just saying it's easier than I thought it was. What did you think?
I didn't think it was too bad. The trails were a little bit harder than I thought. I thought it was just going to be one open path, so it was really cool that it took you through the trees and all that, so that was really fun.
Yeah, it was. What did you think, Kimberly?
Yeah, the same thing. You weave in and out throughout the woods, and that was awesome. Definitely dress warm when you're out there. You warm up while you're on the bike, but that's my number one tip, dress warm.
Yeah, you know, and you got these big tires on there. They're like a snow tire, and they go pretty good, but it's still a little slippery at times. And you're trying to weave between a couple of trees, or it drops off, or there's a big pile of wood here, and you really have to kind of watch yourself when you're doing it.
Yeah.
But a great time out there, great trails.
During the winter, City Forest is best known for its 4 ice toboggan runs. They are one of the remaining toboggan runs in the state and are a favorite winter pastime. 3 or 4 individuals fit on a toboggan that is rented on site. Personal toboggans are not allowed. How much fun is it to go down the snow-packed, iced, and elevated toboggan runs? Just listen to the shrieks of joy that reverberate through the forest as the toboggans pick up speed and take you on an adventurous ride. The Great Lakes Bay region is known for another favorite winter sport, ice fishing. Mark Martin knows the Saginaw Bay area well.
It's a great fishery out here because of the DNR. It has improved it vastly, and it keeps improving by leaps and bounds, not only for walleye, but for perch and a lot of other species of fish, because they manage it right. And that's what it's all about, is managing the system, you know, and making it all grow, make it, you know, produce, you know, for the fishermen. And they really don't have to plant the walleye anymore. They don't have to plant the perch because they're finding a balance, they're understanding it. So, you know, out here you can catch walleyes, perch, lake trout, whitefish. You know, they caught some catfish and sheephead today. My buddy's out here pre-fishing right now. And so there's a lot of variety out here. But the thing is that, you know, when you do go out, you don't know what's underneath you by watching your fish finder. But if you got a camera, you can understand some of the fish that are out there, because you see what kind they are, and then you can determine what you're going to do as far as jig. You're going to set tip ups. Predominantly what we're going after is walleye, but we're going to be catching perch out here. We're going to be catching catfish. We're going to be catching sheephead. We're going to be catching lake trout. We're going to be catching whitefish. You know, but you can't go, oh, I'm just going to go walleye fishing and expect that because you said that you're going to keep other fish from not biting. If you do everything right, and that's what we're out here to teach people to do, is how to jig these lures right, how to present them right. When you do things right, every fish that's in that body of water is going to bite that lure. And that's why the people come to our school, because of our ability to teach them how to use that lure that they bought. Everybody thinks we have a magic bait. We have the same baits that you do in your tackle box. We just know how to use that bait to attract the fish in, to get them to react to it, to bite. You know, and that's what we also teach is that kind of reactionary bite, how to pound the bottom, bring the fish in. I'm teaching the people at grassroots level. I'm teaching the students. I'm teaching the media. We're teaching each other. I'm learning just as much as the students are in the media. It's a three-way road here. And the thing is as we go out from here, the students go out from here, and they talk about it to the public. So we're getting more people fired up about ice fishing or fishing in general, that, boy, I want to go try that. They made it look so good, and they showed me, and now I can go buy this stuff and use it the correct way. Instead of just putting it on the end of your rod, you're going to put it on the end of your rod and do what you're supposed to with it. So this is what this school is all about. It's not just a guided fishing trip, which it isn't. It's a school to teach people how to be safe, how to attack a lake, how to read a map, how to read their fish electronics, how to, everything they have in their tackle box will now make more sense to them because they're using equipment of their own, and now it's like, well, geez, I've been using it the wrong way all these years. So we help them understand what they really have, and that's what I like about this school, is you see a lot of happy people when you're done, and I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of telephone calls, and just thank me because now they left the school, went out next week with their buddies and go, hey, Mark, that really worked.
While some people question ice anglers about their desire to walk out in the frigid temperatures to drill holes in the ice just to catch fish. But take a look under the flap of their portable shanties and you'll be excited about being invited in. Perched on a seat with a little propane heater going in a small space makes for a cozy, warm ice fishing experience. Most anglers would agree it is one of their favorite seasons to fish, especially in the Great Lakes Bay region where fishing through the ice is so successful and so fun. To really have fun in the Great Lakes Bay region, you need a festival. Zinder Snowfest hosts one of the top snow sculpting events in North America where you can enjoy larger-than-life snow sculptures and beautifully detailed ice carvings, limited only by the carver's imagination. Zinder Snowfest is entertainment for the entire family in its warming tent, a fireworks display, petting zoo, and children's activities. What is winter without snow? And if there's not enough or it hasn't come on time, what's a person to do? Join the Go Great Lakes Bay dancers as they move, sway, swing, and sing to be sure that your winter in the Great Lakes Bay region is everything you have dreamed of. Go ahead. Get up and do a dance. All you have to do is believe in its powers to make winter fun happen.
This is how the Go Great Lakes Bay does their snow day dance.
You really got me. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Go for the Great Lakes. Okay. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me.
Winter in the Great Lakes Bay region is more fun than I could have imagined. Snowshoeing is one of my favorite winter pastimes. I hope you enjoyed the snowshoeing trails of the Chippewa Nature Center and everything else it has to offer as much as I did. We would love to hear from you about your Fat Tire bike riding experience at the Midland City Forest. Give us a tweet at greatgetaways.tv. Crackly snow pants and itchy woolen scarves may be just memories, but making new winter memories with friends and family is guaranteed fun at the Great Lakes Bay region. Another winter fun activity is watching Great Getaways with a cup of hot cocoa in your hand. You can get more information on winter fun in the Great Lakes Bay region by ordering a printed brochure from our website, or to learn more, order a free information packet from the contact information on your screen. Also, let us know what you thought about today's show by visiting our website and filling out the form. Follow us on Facebook and the links to our Twitter and Pinterest posts. Your online adventure is just the start of your next great getaway.